Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. If you're back, thank you so much. Shout out to Ella. I think she's the one that comments the most on my channel. It's very sweet. And if you're new, then welcome to this hot mess of a channel. Sorry. I've said before, I can't get the sizing of stills right. So you guys get just pure video and me nattering here. So this layout, I'm not going to lie, I love, 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 love how this layout came out. If I had to pick a style, color, whatever you want to call it, the whole kit and caboodle, this layout probably represents me the best. I don't know why. It's just something about it. It just really, I just in love with it. So the papers came from a Hip Kit Club. I want to say it was February, and the papers themselves are I think it's mostly PinkFresh. And it's funny because before I started picking up that Hip Kip Club, I'm not a subscriber at this point. I just buy the ones that I really find attractive, which has been most of them. They had some winter ones that I don't get snow, so I didn't really get those, but the quality is just phenomenal. And I hadn't ever really, I don't think I'd ever even used PinkFresh before. If I had, I don't really remember it. And I love their stuff. The quality is great and the colors are great. The paper is just really nice and thick. So anyway, so this picture is a picture of my daughter and one of her, I guess she called it her BFF. Although I think my daughter has 100 BFFs, but this little girl here, she'd known her for quite a little while, and just the sweetest thing you'd ever meet. She's just such a sweetheart. And so they had taken this cute selfie here, and I honestly loved how the angle of the photograph, when you look at their faces, when the photograph's angled, they're straight on. So it was interesting. I had this rainbow paper, and I had just at the beginning, you might have seen I had the picture laying there and a couple pieces of paper. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would look so cute turned angled, but then their faces are straight. And I thought, oh, this is great. I didn't even have a sketch on this one. Normally, try to start with sketches or some kind of inspiration. On this one, it was literally just the photograph laying on top of those papers that was my inspiration. Um, with this particular hip kit, I actually also bought the Pocket Life cards or the Pocket Life add-on kit or whatever. And I don't do that. I don't have a Pocket Life. I thought about it. I'm really attracted to the style, but I just really don't take enough. Um, daily pictures or whatever you want to call it to make it really worthwhile. I just don't. So I did buy the kit though because I think those cards are just great. They're great for journaling cards, and then the embellishments that were included were adorable. So I did buy the little kit, and then I've managed to figure out a way to use a lot of these cards. So what I had done is I took the two pieces of paper that were just kind of laying there, and I've cut those as mats and made like this like L type matting going on behind the photograph, and then I'm going to ink the edges of these all these cards and papers with the this gray Distress Oxide, the Tim Holtz stuff. I just think that the gray looks really pretty. Initially, I just had the photograph laying on the pink. I then did decide I wanted to go ahead and mat that on white. It just needed just a tad more separation. So I go ahead and mat the photograph on the white cardstock. Um, then this paper that you can kind of see with all the words on it, it almost lends itself kind of it's a lot of positive stuff, right? So it's yes and always, and love yourself, and there's just all these positive words. I don't really know the theming in a sense. I don't because keep learning's on there as well. So I don't know if it's like a school theme or something. I don't really know, but the reason I really liked it or I really wanted to use it is you'll notice best friends. Well, you may not can notice it now because there's stuff kind of covering it up, but there's best friends in blue, highlighted with blue. And I wanted to make sure I used that piece of paper. And you'll see in a minute when I'm working on the layout and I do create a big mat of this paper here, there's other words that are showing just because of the size of the mat and that sort of thing. And I really didn't want those to show. So I do use embellishments to cover up the words that I don't care to see, and it works out great. Like I said, this layout just came together and I just really loved it. So here's where you'll see I've got this picture tilted at an angle, but because of the way they took the photo, their faces are straight. So I really just love that. And here's where I'm putting the photograph on the paper with the words, but you can see the best friends underneath and I say underneath, and it's kind of got almost like you could look at it from two different directions, but it's to the right of the photo, I guess. So I'm going to cut this paper here to make There you go. See, I'm intentionally leaving best friends there. And I'm also making sure to cut where I don't have half words. I don't want to see that either. So I'm trimming the paper that way. And I'm adjusting, and I have already glued the other mats together, thankfully, because sometimes I'm terrible about just laying stuff and then forgetting to glue. And then here's where I'm using these little journaling cards to create even more interest with different kind of oddball layers coming out. All right, so I still need to ink the edges of this. I don't know if I pulled this out yet. And guys, in a minute, you will notice we'll get a visitor. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably seen her pop up now and again, but you're going to see my cat pop in here in a minute. Um, and I'm so sorry too. That I noticed that the bottom of the layout isn't showing. You will get to see it. I don't show, I mean, I do show you the whole layout at some point. I realize I think that I'm too far down and move it up, but it's going to be a minute. And there's not too much going on down there right now, so it's okay. Okay, so I've inked the edges of my papers there, and I'm going to glue this stuff down. I am using my ATG gun. There we go. Now, again, you can still see some of the letters, so I'm going to start hiding these things with these other little extras, right? So this journaling card was perfect. It had this cute, like spotted edge there. I did have to cover the little flowers, which made me sad. I probably could have trimmed it, in all honesty, cut it in half or something, but I didn't. Um, and again, I'm just loving how these rainbows. I've seen some other folks use this rainbow paper by like trimming the rainbows out and maybe stitching them or something. I like I said, this wasn't off a sketch or anything, and I was really just inspired by when I had just kind of tossed the papers down to start my project, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so cute. Okay, and the other really cool part is it came with these really great embellishments. I mean, again, I just can't say enough about this collection. I just really loved it. So now what I've kind of decided is again, oh, there's our visitor. And she's going to sit down in a second and be off camera just a hair, but well, and no pun intended because her hair's all over the place. But she sits there. She's joined us. She's going to supervise. Unfortunately, it does make me have the layout just a little bit too low because I don't want to I don't know. If you have a cat, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you don't want to argue with them because it just causes. And then she oozes like she just. I got to get over there. I got to get over there. So the PinkFresh came with this packet of flower embellishments, and they're all different. I shouldn't say all different, but there's like a couple different styles. There's some that are just black and white outline type stuff, and then there's some with really bright colors, fully colored, and then there's a couple that are like outlines with other flowers kind of in there. The whole set is just beautiful, works great with the papers. So again, so what I'm doing here is I'm wanting to cover up those words at the top where it says like keep learning and hello. They don't really match the idea behind the layout. So I'm figuring out a way to use these flowers to cover them up. And I just, again, I love how this turned out. I think it's so pretty. Um, and I'm just picking out the ones that I think kind of go well and are the right size and the right, because they are kind of, there's some different, angles of flowers going off different directions or whatever. And I want them to look just so. So I've created this like floral border. Um, and the funny thing is I still have yet to actually glue down the main set of photo layers onto my paper. So I start to pull out, I'm still kind of picking flowers here. I do end up using some not fun foam, excuse me, foam tape to pop them up. I think that looks really great when I get the foam tape underneath it. It creates this different levels of flowers. So I'm still picking out the particular flowers. And the other thing I had kind of in my mind was to do the color flower on the color rainbow thing. So I do have that yellow flower on that yellow um, curve of the rainbow. I don't really do that like 100%. I have seen people do like rainbow layouts where they're specific to that, but um, just a little bit. Okay, so then they also have these great chipboard um, embellishments that says us. And then I had also pulled out the little heart with, it was like a little row of hearts. And then there's a little phrase that I put to the right. And again, I've almost created two separate little, like you could look at the layout from one side or the other. And it says, life's always better when you're laughing, I think is what it says. Again, that came in the embellishment kit. And I'm picking out, I start to use this white puffy font. It's got like little gold, it's like little gold foiling on it, and it's really pretty. But I think I decided it was just too big. And this, again, this is where you're seeing this cat has caused me to be too off screen a little bit here. But I decided to go with that blue puffy letter font stuff. And I'm using the best friends as part of the title, and it'll end up being best friends forever is what it's going to end up being. Um, but here's where I had realized I hadn't glued down the photo layers, and I needed to do that before I really went too far, especially considering my flowers are where I want them. And of course, Saturn is definitely in the way, but I don't want to argue with her, so it is what it is. All right, so here's where I think at the moment, and I apologize again that I'm gluing these flowers. I've got the ATG tape, and I'm picking the flowers and pasting them in there. This cat, I swear, she's such a little stinker. And in fact, in another minute, if you keep watching, and again, I want to thank you if you do, because I recognize this being off screen is a bit annoying. Um, but she literally comes and sits on the layout, like her butt ends up on the photo, and I have to pick her up at that point. That's just, I don't mind arguing with her, in some ways, but that just aggravated me. So again, here's where I've put this foam tape up underneath this flower, and I'm going to put it back. Look at me. I'm having to pinch off each one of those. And I put it up here, and I think that looks great. Um, and then, okay, so you can kind of see even if what I've done at the bottom with the flowers there. I will come in with some other embellishments on the right-hand side of that best friends piece there. Well, it's not on the right now because it's upside down, but if you're looking at it right side up, it's on the right because I don't want to see that. Um, I think it was adventure or something. I don't want to see that. That's not really part of it as either. So okay, so I'm laying my flowers out here, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue. That just is the best little wet glue I like to use. I've had Tombow and that sort of thing, but honestly, this art glitter just it's the best. I do want to try the Nuvo. I've heard some really good things about the Nuvo adhesive, but I haven't been able to justify purchasing it since I still have that full bottle of art glitter. Okay, so finally, I kind of cut the video there because I moved Saturn and said, "You're in my way. I can't show my whole layout here." So now you can see the whole layout again. The little tag there had some little boogers, like if you've popped them out, there's all these little paper boogers sometimes. So I use my little trusty emery file there to take it off. I am popping up that as well. The whole idea is to, of course, create all this dimension on this layout. And that's going to go right there. So now you have this little phrase that says about laughter, and then it's best friends, and then right now you got faux. Best friend's faux. I'll add the rest of it in a moment, but I wanted to glue down all my little pieces while I had them generally where I wanted them. All right, so now I'm going to finish out the title. And again, I really love these puffy letter stickers. I was going to go to Expo this year. I think they're going to move it. The current website status is or email or something. I can't remember if I saw it on the website or by email, but I think they're looking to. I'm in the Dallas area, so it would have been in Irving, and of course we're in this shelter in place until. Well, Dallas County has it till like May, but for sure end of April for the area. So they're going to have to they couldn't have it because it was supposed to have been April 17th, 18th or something. So anyway, the current status is they're going to find new dates. I'm kind of hopeful that they do find good new dates that don't interfere with another trip I've scheduled later this year. But for the moment, I had been not on a I've been on a spinning freeze in the sense like I knew I was going to go to a convention and I wanted to save my money for there. And now, oh, here she is. Now watch this. Y'all watch this. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Anyways, okay. I knew I was going to buy some things there, so I hadn't been buying anything, and now I'm kind of like, okay, now do I go ahead and buy some things because I don't know when this other convention's going to be. Um, because I really enjoy these puffy letters and this PinkFresh stuff. I'm thinking I might go looking for some PinkFresh product online and see if I can buy a few more collections because these are uh, I just love them. It's just adorable. So I'm going through the little ephemera pack here and I'm looking for little goodies. And I found that dark blue or navy blue or whatever it says friend. It's an F and it has friends. And then this right here is also, I think it's got an F on it or something. And that is going to be one of the pieces I end up with on the right-hand side over there. Um, nope, that's a lie. I get that one. That's what it is. The little yellow one, happy. Now, and then of course, it's a different flower. It's going to be like there we go. So I've covered up that word over there that I didn't really want to see. Um, and then I'm going to find in a moment they're kind of fabric paper things. They're fabric paper bows, or I don't know if they're paper really, but they're fabric bows that you had to assemble. That's probably the only embellishment that I really not certain about. They do look cute. I mean, they're really cute. But I'm not the best assembler, I guess, of bows, so I struggled to glue them properly, and I was looking on YouTube for directions. I'm like, how come this is so hard for me? It shouldn't have been, And I've seen dyes where you can make it out of paper, but these are really high quality. I don't want to say that. It's just for my own inability to do assembly. But I finally figured them out. So, all right. So now I'm gluing down my little ephemera pieces. And guys, like I said, I cannot say enough good things about this set. I just loved it. And then I've got these great puffy stickers. These are so cute. I'm like, okay, what can I use? What can I use? Um, I want to use something. And then I set it aside for a minute. I do have these great little chipboard things. And again, since now I have my hearts kind of coming to the pointing to the left, I put that little tag going to the left. And in my head, I'm creating kind of a double perspective, I guess, where the bottom could be either side. I don't know why that's what was in my head. Maybe because I'm a Gemini. I don't know. Oh, there's the cat again. I think I have to move her. Yep. She's all up in my business. So here's one of those paper bow or fabric bows. Um, I decide to use, I would use the wet glue, but I think it takes just a little bit of time for it to set. And I was being a bit impatient, so I end up using double-sided tape here. I don't remember if I actually add the wet glue as well. Maybe not. I kind of debate left or right, decide on the left. And I still think I come back to those puffy stickers. I do like these little phrases here as well, and I find this little heart on there, and then I think I actually end up using something that says happy or a little phrase. I do love these little puffy stickers. It's so funny. I don't think I had even used those up until within the last several months. I hadn't used puffy stickers in 100 years, I think, and they're I guess back in style. I don't know. I feel like I knew about them when I was a kid. Like there was sticker books with puffy stickers, and now they're back in style. Okay, so now I've got me some enamel dots, and I think these also came with the collection. I cannot swear on it though, because they almost look like an Echo Park set of colors, but I don't want to lie to you, so I'm just going to say I don't know. But I find these green enamel dots, and I'm just kind of sprinkling them around the page here to add some interest. And obviously the movement for your eye is from upper left to lower right. I didn't really go like quote visual triangle or anything like that. It's more of a diagonal, I guess. Um, okay, I'm going back to these puffy stickers because I really like these stickers here. Where is it? Oh, there's the cat again. Y'all, she was all up in my business. I mean, just all up in my business that day. She was not feeling enough love, I guess. All right, so let's go back to the layout. I would shut my door, but honestly, she would sit out there and just whine and cry and carry on, and I really don't want to hear it. So here I am thinking, thinking, thinking. I know I want to use a puppy sticker. I just don't know which one. I know there's something on here. I'm thinking I've got to find something. These are so cute. They're so cute. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just not really certain. And so again, when you don't know something, you go do something else. I think I found a little something something on the paper there with my tweezers. Um, See me? Look at this. I really want to use something, but I can't decide what. I just can't decide. So I set it aside. And then I find on here, yeah, this is where I find that cute little phrase. Um, nope, I change it out. It's not going to be fave after all. It's going to be sweet. Now, why that is, I don't know. Oh, I think because what I wanted to do was put the yellow inside the yellow. Um, yeah, I'm pretty certain that's what it was. I kind of like fave, but I don't think I wanted to put the pink on the yellow. So now I'm again going back into my little goodies because there's so many. I mean, that was a great thing about it. The collection came and it was like I have this huge pile of embellishments. I really enjoyed that. I'm gonna have to buy another collection. I've just decided no spending freeze for me. Don't tell my husband. All right, so I'm putting this all away because I do tend to clean as I go. I'll end up losing things if I don't. So I'm looking at it. I know that I'm gonna yep, here we go. I'm gonna sprinkle my Mr. Huey's. This is my white Mr. Huey's. This is almost the end, and I will slow it down so you can kind of see the layout. just because I can't do the stills, guys. It's just not going to be me. It's not going to work. So I'm going to slow this down and I'm going to show you the close-ups. Um, I'm going to put my Instagram down in the comments, so feel free to go check that out, Pinterest and that sort of thing. I try to save the stills of these layouts on there. But yeah, there's my corner there, and you can follow it down, and there's all my fancy little paints and stuff. Really, really love this layout. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all, next time. Bye.